Hello, one and all. Welcome back to another edition of the Average Guy's Guide to Life podcast. You know who I am, right? You know what this is, don't you? Bitch, welcome. You're making it through your life, okay? You're doing good, you're eating food, you're paying your bills. Hopefully, you're being forced to stay at home and look at the same walls, binge shows, you know? Look at the same faces. God bless you. Fuck. It must suck. It does suck. I'm ready for this shit to be over. Over. First world problems, bitch. First world problems. I got food in the fridge. I got a roof above my head. I'm able to go to work. I'm hanging out with Rick here. But guess what? I still want to go to a fucking restaurant. I don't give a fuck that they don't have any restaurants in Bumblefuck or, you know, Zimbabwe or some shit. Go fuck yourself, Zimbabwe. First world problems, you know? We've been stuck in a house. We've been stuck in our air conditioned homes for a month. We're ready to go out and spend our extra money on steak. We're stuck in our homes binging shows that we have on our big gigantic plasma HD screens, but we're sick of this. We're fucking sick of it. You living in your fucking shanty village. Fuck you. I'm ready to go and spend a little bit of my extra money on some $55 lobster, bitch, and a crowd full of people that are spending their money on the same thing. This is what I want. First world problems. I have them. I'm not saying this is what I want to do anyway. No, it's not what I want to do. That's what a lot of people want to do. A lot of people are fucking getting sick of the people they're surrounded by. They didn't pick their group. They didn't pick their company better. You know, so they want to be distracted by all the elements and all of the entertainment outside. Fuck this shit. If we die, we die, bitch. But I'm ready to go bowling. I'm ready to go and get a strike. You know, fuck that shit. I don't care if we die. I'm ready to go and have some shots with the fellas. You know, $10 shots. When a fucking fifth will only cost me 20, but this little bitty shot will cost me 10. Why? Because I'm outside and I'm with the boys. Oh, the kids are back. They're revving up their engines. I live next to some rowdy motherfuckers, fam. Rowdy. Like, these motherfuckers, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about shit. I kinda dig it though, you know? They got their hands on a dirt bike maybe a couple weeks back, and somebody will probably die, somebody will break a limb, but you only live once, young men. Do your thing, break some bones. Um, Speaking of breaking bones, well, not breaking bones. Speaking of moving vehicles, I've only been driving recently for about, I say about a couple days now. Now, I am a driver. I have driven before, but I voluntarily decided not to. Oh, there he goes. I volunteered myself not to drive for several years um, because of some complications with my home state and them trying to fuck me in the ass over some shit that was ridiculous, that's over a decade old. Shit you not. They were just going in there, no rubber, no lube, just straight on, just fucking me. So I didn't want to deal with it, but I decided that now was the time. Now was the time for me to just say, fuck it, let me take care of this business, get myself a vehicle. And I did. It was fairly easy. I am a responsible adult, so I can do those things. And I got a car, and and I've only been driving it for a few days now. And I noticed while driving on the road in my commute mainly to work and back home, I have noticed that people don't give a fuck about the speed limit, bruh. They don't care. A lot of people just don't give a fuck. Like, and those will be the same people that would try and complain and beat a speeding ticket if they were ever caught by the law, And I'm speeding myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm on the road where it says you're supposed to go 35 and I'm going a decent 40. But at least 80% of the motherfuckers that's on the road with me take it upon themselves to go in the other lane and then pass me. Now, why though? Like, is everyone just in that much of a rush? Does everyone have a passenger in their car that has an emergency? Like, are all these people carrying a passenger who's pregnant and about to give birth? Like, why do you need to go 60, sir, madam? Why do you need to go fucking 75 on a 35 road? Why? Are you in that much of a rush to go to your fucking Walmart? Especially now when you can't go anywhere. And most of the people that are commuting are going to work. So you're in that much of a rush to get to work, bitch? Maybe you should have woken up a bit earlier. Maybe. You know? Or maybe you should just, say, fuck it, it's a pandemic, I'm gonna be late. You should be happy I'm coming anyway. I could die. I could fucking die. But it's alarming the number of people that are on the road to just fucking pass me by, and I'm doing 10 above the limit. I don't want to. I look at my speedometer and I'm like, let me slow down a little bit. Okay? Let me just slow it on down because I'm not trying to get no motherfucking ticket. You know? That's what fucked me over the last time with my home state. And it wasn't even moving violations. They were parking tickets. Because where I'm from, you needed like 32 stickers placed all over your car to say where you could park and where you can drive. I got tickets for stickers, shit that the state made up to say that you can drive here. But that's neither here nor there. You motherfuckers need to slow down. You motherfuckers next to me need to slow down. Well, maybe not them. They need to learn. But all the rest of you motherfuckers out there going 75 on a 35 when you just taking your dumb ass to work, slow the fuck down, okay? Slow down. We're all going to get there, and I'm trying to get there safely. While you zipping past me in motherfucking 99 Chevy, go fuck yourself, Go fuck yourself. You don't deserve to have a license. And all you motherfuckers that do have licenses, and this is you, and this relates to you, and you're one of those people that's going fucking 90, I hope nothing bad happens to you. I hope nothing bad happens to you. I just want to say that. But I also hope that you get coronavirus. Uh, yeah. Anyway, so apparently Adele lost a bunch of weight, right? And that was the thing I was listening to earlier when I was at my job doing the type of the type, doing the type of the swipe of the type thing, and it came in my ear when I was listening to one of my programs, as house moms in the 90s would say. I was watching my program. I was listening to one of my programs, and they stated that Adele lost a lot of weight, and I was like, oh, I don't know who she is, but she sounds familiar. And I remember, oh, she was kind of the chunky lady that made that James Bond theme song. I like her. I like her voice. It's a unique, kind of soulful, kind of opera-like voice. It's like soul and opera at the same time. They bonded and fucked, you know. So I'm like, yeah, I like Adele. She was kind of chunky, but she's not in the modeling industry. She's in the my voice sounds good industry. So I'm like, I fucks with her. But it apparently she's apparently getting some backlash from some of her fans and some of the public because she lost weight. The fuck? Where do we live? Where do we live? This is definitely some first world shit because the motherfuckers in Zimbabwe and goddamn living in a ditch in Indonesia or some shit, they can't get food. So they're involuntarily starving and skinny. But us in America, we have so much food, we voluntarily get fat. And we look at those that are in the public eye, our celebrities, we look at them, and if they're fat, we're like, oh, okay, it's okay for me to be fat too then. Look at her. She sings good and she looks like me. I am validated for eating too many donuts. Look at me. This is great. We have a spokeswoman. I might not be able to sing a fraction as well as she can, but she looks sort of like me. I got a few more roles there, but close enough. People are outraged. Outraged about someone losing weight and getting healthy. What the fuck? Where do we live? What is this? What is this? It's like you fat shame someone who is unhealthy and you tell them that they need to straighten out their life. Us normal folks. You tell them they need to start eating healthier and taking care of this body because this is literally the only one we have until you die. That's it. So we fat shame people that are out there eating fucking Wendy's bacon on bacon burgers, like you're eating just bacon, and we tell them to get healthy. But then when someone does get healthy, we tell them you got too healthy or too skinny. You're too skinny, Adele. I'm not sure how this happened. Like, it used to be a good thing that people wanted to take control of their, their diet and just take control of their health. That used to be a good thing. When did that become a bad thing? I think, independently, okay, I think it happened because we gave too much of a voice to motherfuckers that are losers. People out there that have no self-control and feel that body shaming is just someone getting healthy. Like, I get unrealistic body standards. I get that. Like, I get that in advertisement that they always try to hire the pretty motherfuckers to sell you some shit. And I disagree with that. And I believe on previous podcasts, I said vigorously how much I disagree with that because I don't want you to try and sell me a motherfucking minivan with a bitch that got 4 kids, but she look like she ain't never popped out one. Bitch with perfect figure and perfect bone structure. Like, no, if you're gonna sell me a motherfucking minivan, you better show a motherfucker that look like they driving that minivan. So I get that. I get the body image shit. But what I don't understand is how someone can be upset at another person who it's their own body. You're upset at them for wanting to be healthy. Okay. Okay. You know, it's like the goal isn't for every person on earth to have the, sculpted physique, big giant biceps, uh, goddamn 20, 30 pack on your stomach. Like, that's not the goal. The goal is to just not be a 600-pound piece of shit or just an obese piece of shit. That's the goal. So you motherfuckers, whoever you are, you need to leave Adele the fuck alone. And if you're looking for, a goddamn fat savior, you're looking for a goddamn fat advocate. You be the fat advocate, motherfucker. You go and learn how to sing or do some shit. You get famous. You get famous enough with your fat ass. Go out there, start tap dancing, learn how to do some fat gymnastics, and I guarantee we'll start paying attention to you. If you start doing obese parkour, You start doing obese parkour, you'll be famous overnight. But can you? Can you do obese parkour? That's some shit I would like to see. Leave Adele the fuck alone. Okay? Anyway, that's enough about that shit. I was recently told that I should talk about something that I am passionate about, so it wasn't that much of an ask. But it wasn't something that I planned on putting in a podcast anytime soon. Um, and I'm kind of glad I am doing it because I feel like there's a lot of people in my generation that feel the same way. Uh, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now. Um, fucking cartoons. Cartoons. I am admittedly part nerd. Like, I am such a layered being that, you can't fucking define me by one word or another. And I know a lot of people out there are the same. But one of my layers is it's a cartoon layer. Because I'm a nerd. Like, I am in nerd culture. I am in fandom. I am a member of the fandom menace. May we live forever. So, the cartoon subject that I was advised to discuss was cartoons that stand the test of time. Things that you watched growing up that you could still watch to this day. And I was thinking about everything I watched growing up. Like, not just when I was a baby. Uh, not just when I was a, thumb sucking moron. I still am. But when I was also a young person, like up until when I was 12, 13, even 14, 15, I was watching cartoons for a while, man. When I was a teenager, I wasn't, you know, chasing pussy or none of that. I wasn't a tail chaser. I was playing sports and Yugi Man. I was collecting Yugi Man cards and you know uh, drawing and also playing sports. And it's a weird combination. Don't ask. Oh, and playing video games. So uh, yeah, and I thought about it. Like, there aren't many cartoons that I watched growing up within a certain amount of time, like in the 90s. There weren't many cartoons because I'm a 90s baby. Okay, I'm a 90s baby. I grew up in the 90s. So a lot of the cartoons that I watched then, I don't think they would be relevant today. I really don't. They would give you a good dose of nostalgia. Like, it'll shoot you in the brain with that little nice feeling that you get when you're watching something that you used to back in the day. But as far as you being able to binge the whole series and still finding it relevant and entertaining, I'm not so sure. But there are a select few that do, you know? Like, when I was growing up in the 90s, we had a bunch of ridiculous action cartoons, the ones I watched anyway. I didn't have cable, so most of the cartoons I watched were on network television, free TV, on CBS, NBC, ABC. You had Fox, you had Channel 26. I mostly watched Fox. You had Fox Kids, you had the Fox Box, um, but then WCIU stepped up their game and they had the WCIU tunes in the morning, and that's pretty much where I stuck for a little while. I believe ABC or maybe NBC, but I think it's ABC had the Disney cartoons, the ones that would come on the actual Disney Channel, uh, and there would be like reruns that would come on public or network television, I should say. So, in no particular order, I just wanted to talk about First, I'm going to talk about the ones that I don't think would stand the test of time, but are good for a decent watch. You know, just a couple of episodes, get that nostalgia feeling, and maybe just laugh at how entertained you were by these shows. And some of them you probably haven't even heard of. Uh, but for one, let's see. Pinky and the Brain. Pinky and the Brain was one of those shows that was a spin-off of another show that I don't think would stand the test of time. Like I think the humor in it would be stale. Um, what's another one? Cat Dog is another one. I don't think would stand the test of time. Angry Beavers. Uh, I don't think would stand the test of time. Uh, Courage the Cowardly Dog, oddly enough, does in a weird way. Like the humor doesn't always land, but the subject matter of the show is pretty good, you know. But I'm leaning more 60-40, 60% chance that it would be something that you would just watch a couple of episodes of. I did actually make a list. I have to check my list here. What do we got? What do we got here? Uh, oh, okay. So we got, I don't know, um, Pokemon maybe? Like the Pokemon I grew up watching is different from what it eventually turned into. I have no idea what the fuck it eventually turned into, by the way. When they stopped being about Ash and Brock and Misty and Pikachu and all his other Pokemon, Bulbasaur and Charizard and you know the other fucking thing. What was the Squirtle? Right, that was the other one. When it stopped being about the root characters, I stopped watching that shit. So I don't think it would stand the test of time. And it was made in Japan, and it's an anime. I mean, it's a cartoon, but you know, it's also an anime. Uh, but I don't know. I don't think Pokemon would do well as far as watching the entire series all the way through. I know there's a lot of people that's going to be mad about that. And I think that's just nostalgia hitting you. I think that's just a nostalgia bug pissing in your eyeball. Uh, but the the fucking theme song still smacks though. Like that theme song fucking smacks. I wanna be the very best, and no one ever was. Dun, 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 dun. That shit is hard, bro. Speaking of theme songs that's hard and songs that end in mon, Digimon. I also don't think that would stand the test of time. And I'm saying that as a advocate of Digimon. I have watched Digimon as an adult. Yeah, as a grown up in my 20s. Uh, like I'm far from them. I'm not, but I did. I did watch Digimon as an adult, and I watched the entire like first series with Tai, uh, the original Goggle Kid, and I want to say it's silly. It's silly. Like you have to be outside of your body to watch something like a Pokemon or a Digimon, and you have to become a kid again and not just view it as nostalgic viewing, but viewing it as kind of a younger version of yourself, you know? And I think that's what I did. Like I escaped my adult body and was able to watch Digimon. And Digimon got a fucking theme song that smacked too. Fuck you mean that shit be smacking, bro? Digimon, 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 Digital Monsters. That's my shit. And I mean, the movie theme is even better. You know, how the fuck did that shit go? Uh, hey Digimon, monster friends of the boys and girls. Hey Digimon, champions of the digital world. Like that is my. I have that on my playlist. This is how much of a fucking jerk I am. I have theme songs for animes and cartoons that I watched growing up and some that I watched as an adult on my phone, and they are in a playlist. I have tons of them. And the Digimon theme song, the Hey Digimon, is in my fucking playlist. But that's another one I'm kind of 60-40 about that if you were to watch it, expecting it to be relevant in today's time, or just for you and your adult mind to get some entertainment value out of it, I don't think you would. Um, and unfortunately, Yu-Gi-Oh falls into that same category. You know, the original Yu-Gi-Oh series, I don't think would stand the test of time. Like, it's great nostalgic viewing, but it's fucking slow, man. Like, how long does it take to get through one fucking duel? Like, I've dueled people with a, like, we had a no limit deck thing. You know, when people had like decks are that fucking big when you're just playing just to be playing. And still, I've dueled people with unlimited decks, and it only lasted about 45 minutes. But why in the fuck does one duel between Yugi and some adversary last 2 months? Why? Why? You're placing down one card at a time, talking about the card they just put down, and dude reacts to the card like, "Oh no, I didn't think you had that. I can't believe it. You know, my life points, but I have a trap card." You know, and then Yugi reacts to the trap card. "I didn't think he had that. You know, it's time to activate the Millennium fucking piece or whatever it was called. Yu-Gi-Oh!" Like, it's just too fucking slow. Like, I can't sit through a fucking, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe the anticipation was built up right. And it was when I was a kid. I would go over to my best friend's house and his family, and we were all friends there, and we were all very big fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! And we would like fucking schedule times to watch it, and we would watch it religiously. It was almost like a religious experience. And before the Yu-Gi-Oh cards was even released, before they were released in the United States, since I draw, I actually made my own cards. I didn't call them Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I took characters from my comic and plagiarized other characters and made my own deck of cards with like construction paper and sketch paper, so that we can play, Yu-Gi-Oh style duels. So it was, I mean, it's a nostalgic watch, but it's another 60/40. You're not going to get um, any sort of uh, relevant topics on that. And I don't think the suspense that was built up back then will sustain you through an entire series now. It's probably torture to watch now. Another one that's going to be unpopular is Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I am saying this as a person that learned how to draw from Dragon Ball Z. Like, I knew how to draw, I knew, how to create a person from my imagination, but Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z helped me take my creativity to the next level when I was copying Goku and copying Vegeta and Cell and Majin Buu and all that. And it is such a great nostalgic watch. And I've watched that as an adult as well, several times. But as far as being relevant to all people across all demographics, I don't think that is a 2020 watch. I don't think that's relevant to everyone. I don't think that stands the test of time. Now, across everyone. Now, if you were to ask me personally, I would go and watch Dragon Ball Z right now, you know? And I would. I mean, I would skip around. I would probably start off with the Cell saga, you know, or maybe the Frieza saga. But I would watch it. But the reason I don't think it's relevant in today's time is because we have access to so many other things. We can binge a whole series in one sitting if we want. Whereas Dragon Ball, it's just like Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think because they're both animes, they do this. They drag out storylines. Like, it took Goku it felt like it took him 18 years to fight Frieza, you know? It's like during the fight. It's like you throw one punch and they scream and they, you know, talk, and only one punch was thrown throughout the entire episode, and they're supposed to be fighting to the death. Excuse me? What? Why are you waiting to fight this guy? Like, he's right there. Stop him from talking. While he's talking, why don't you run up to him and just punch him right in the motherfucking mouth? That would be very disrespectful. But to everyone, especially the little babies walking around here that don't know shit about no Dragon Ball, I don't think they would have the patience to make it through one of those things. Uh, but let's go to the ones that I think would stand the test of time. And I got a list here. And I think some are probably what you would expect to hear, and some aren't. Like for me, I grew up watching The Simpsons. And The Simpsons, when I was a kid and up until like my early teenage years, it was must see TV. Like every family was in the living room at 7 o'clock on Sundays watching The Simpsons. That was it. Like in their heyday, all of the eyeballs on Sunday was on the fucking Simpsons. And back then, I didn't particularly watch football, so that was appointment television. Something else that came on the same channel that I didn't appreciate when it was on TV, but learned to appreciate watching the reruns was King of the Hill. King of the Hill, another great fucking show. I know these are two adult shows, but they're fucking great. And I watched them growing up. South Park, another one. Started in the 90s. The first, well, I'm not sure if you would count the other ones as movies, but the South Park movie came out in 1999. And I saw that when it came out. And I was a kid, and that's something that's extremely rewatchable. I have that uh, fucking soundtrack. I have the South Park soundtrack on my phone. So it's another one of those things. Whoa, my lighting is so bright right now. It's out of control. It's out of control. I'm getting brighter. It's like I'm fucking dying. Can you see me? Let's hope you can see me. God damn. Hold on one second. I gotta hold on here. Oh no, I fucked it up. Oh no, that's worse. Okay, let's try and figure this out here. All right, I'm back. Damn. I apologize for putting you through that torture. Maybe it was just like a bright beam. It was like I was, dying and I was being called up to heaven. Damn. I apologize for that. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, South Park. That's another one of those shows where I grew up watching it, and it stands the test of time. Now, one of the shows that you might be surprised about is Animaniacs. Animaniacs is extremely rewatchable. Some of the comedy is silly, it's silly shit, uh, and some of it is very adult in its delivery and its subject matter, and a lot of it is also it's kind of satire, that back when I was growing up, a lot of cartoons were pushing things to the edge. It was like the showrunners knew that children were watching it, but they also knew that parents with children would probably be stuck watching this shit as well. So they kind of hid some jokes in there for the grown-ups. And also they took a lot of like violence out of cartoons for some reason, even though it's a fucking cartoon, you know? I guess it was because they feared that children would take that as, you know, I don't know, some sort of motivation. They would be influenced by their cartoon and start harming others. But cartoons were a lot more violent when I was growing up. Speaking of, Teen Titans is another one that stands the test of time. You can watch Teen Titans today, but Teen Titans, the one that comes on now, it's dog shit. It's fucking dog shit. I don't know what it is. I don't recognize it. You know. So, what's another one? God, Doug, Hey Arnold, fucking the Batman. Batman animated series. I'm kind of 50-50 on the X-Men animated series. Um, fucking Spider-Man, Rocco's Modern Life, Gargoyles. But I want to. Those are the ones that I think you could still watch today. Um, because something like Hey Arnold, it wasn't a show that relied on violence, and it wasn't a show that relied on like silly gags. I mean, sometimes it did, but it was mostly like a realistic, down to earth show that was a cartoon that was about like social issues. You know, it was strange in that way, and it was unique in that way. Doug as well. The only thing is the animation was just funky. You know, it was just like this dude with this long ass football head. You know, uh, but I want to leave this topic with two shows. Well, one show I forgot to mention that was in the unwatchable in 2020 terms, which is this, I guess, kind of niche show. It's probably something you've never heard of called Ultimate Muscle. It was a show. It was a cartoon show series about professional wrestlers, and it was an anime. It was from Japan, I believe, and they used the Dragon Ball Z format of a wrestling match lasting 17 months. It wouldn't do so well today. But back then, Ultimate Muscle was my shit. I might end up googling the Ultimate Muscle theme song, but when this is over. But another show that you've probably never heard of in your life that I I didn't watch. I didn't watch too many episodes of it, but I knew of the show. It was and it was called Fighting Foodons. Okay, Fighting Foodons. Foodons or futons, but I don't want to say futons because I think that's a chair you sit. Fighting Foodons was a show about, and I think they were trying to piggyback off of the popularity of Pokemon and Digimon. You know what I'm saying? It was a show about, it was a show about food fighting each other. You know, you would. One of the characters on the show was named Fried Risa. I am not kidding. Fried Risa. And I think all they could say, just like a Pokemon, like Pikachu, all Pikachu could say was Pikachu, Pika Pika, Pika Pikachu. You know, all all Fried Risa could say was Fried Risa, Risa Risa. And the way that you brought them to life, where you cooked them, you cooked the food, and you threw one of your magic cards into the dish that you just made, and it would make it come to life. And they would have one dish fighting another dish. So you could have your fried rice fighting some fucking ramen. Or you could have a fucking chili cheese dog fighting a slice of pizza. You can have a milkshake fighting a motherfucking, I don't know, grilled cheese. It was the most ridiculous show ever. And I wouldn't recommend you watch it seriously. Like if you're trying to get something that's going to make your mind move, no, this ain't that. You watch this shit to laugh. You have a few drinks with your friends, or since we're in quarantine, you have a few drinks by yourself, and you watch this shit because it's real and it's real life. I am not making this shit up. Fighting Foodons. And if you experiment with drugs, like if you smoke weed or if you fucking do mushrooms, do do some motherfucking mushrooms and watch this show. Smoke some weed, watch some Fighting Foodons, watch Fried Rice fight a goddamn baked potato. It's gonna be great. And with that, I'm going to leave you. Remember, my friends, remember to like, share, subscribe, do all that good shit. It helps your boy out. I don't know how. I really only do this for you guys' entertainment. And because it helps me fucking work through bits in my head. That it's good for that too. But primarily for your entertainment. Why? Because I'm a fucking good guy. I'm a great person. Didn't I tell you how great I was? You should write me letters. You should write me letters and send me gifts um, telling me how great I am. Anyway, bye.